driving, and some bird decided that it was my lucky day. Look at that. That was one bird, the entire windshield. And I don't want to use the washers because it might smear. No! I mean, look at this, man. The thing got the whole windshield and probably the hood and the roof too. That's incredible. I'm impressed.
I think this is the third one. Yeah, that one just happened.
Everyone's broken down.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening to you. Wife unit and I are in the truck tonight. We are headed up to Jacksonville to go visit Dieselogic, and there's more collisions. Like all through Tampa on I-75, it's car wreck after car wreck, and I don't understand what we're doing. That's a fresh one right there. They just got here. Like, I think they just wrecked their car. It's not good. Good morning, everybody. It's a super foggy day in the swampiest of swamp places. Hello. Wife unit and I, she's in there. We're on our second leg of our Dieselogic field trip tour. We're in Ocala this morning, headed up to Jacksonville, and we're about to roll out. Coffee! Coffee! All right, let's pull up and let me fetch the gate real quick, and we'll get out of here. Coffee. Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Coffee. Nitrogen coffee. All right, let's get out of here. Woohoo. It's early and cold.
And foggy.
Foggy.
Mosquito-y.
And there's mosquitoes in here. I left the window down last night. It's not okay. Killed them. Just rolled out. We're on this super creepy looking bridge through the swamp woods. It's like a bridge through the woods. It's Florida things. Laura, what do you think about this bridge through the woods?
It's interesting. It feels like we're up in a canopy.
I feel like I'm gonna wreck the car and drive off the bridge.
Just
not
don't look
cheap.
down.
I can't. I'm watching the road ad. Check out all these trees right here that are blown sideways from Hurricane Ian last year. See all that, Lauren?
Oh yeah.
Look at all of them. The whole business, the whole forest is like got the lean to it. Yeah, the way that works is before we get a hurricane, it'll rain for like 2 weeks, and it'll sponge up the ground and get it all saturated. And then you get a day and a half of just sustained winds pushing on everything, and it uproots half the trees and just kind of moves the root balls out of the ground some, and then everything gets that lean to it. And then this is what you end up with, is sideways trees. Coffee? Yeah, where are we at, darling? Yeah.
We are about an hour and 39 minutes away.
1.39 hours. And I know the decimal does not work on that equation. It's early. I can't do math this early.
We'll be about 10 minutes fashionably late.
Fashionably late. I can just go faster.
I'm a woman. They'll understand.
Nah, I have turbine power. I'll just go faster. More steam. There we go. Problem solved. Now we're on time. Haha. A-Rod was supposed to come with us, but due to his tight scheduling constrictions for the work week this week, he was unable to take the day. It was kind of an impromptu trip as it was, and Aaron thought he was going to come with, but he's unable to attend, so it's just Lauren and I. But that's okay. I really enjoyed the quality time that we had together.
It was really nice.
All by ourselves. It was nice. We don't get that a lot. And sometimes, but not all the time. Today was one of those times. It's another one of these bridges through the woods. I think this is called the Florida Canal Cross, so I'm assuming there's a body of water down there.
It's wet.
If there is, I can't see it. Yeah, there's a little river or something down there, or canal. Probably a canal because the sign said canal barge crossing or something. Yeah, it's quite moist and saturated down here today. Now, I do not say that to distract or detract from the fact that the rest of the country has turned into a polar vortex, and you guys are hanging out in like 0 degree temperatures and negative temperatures. that is most unfortunate, and I wish you warmer weather as soon as possible, because you know, if I'm cold down here in the 50s, I know you guys are super stinking freaking flipping cold way up there, and I empathize with you for that, because I came from the great white north of coldness, which is why I'm down here, because I don't want to participate in that anymore. It's not my deal. This is kind of scary. Another bridge into nowhere. I think this is St. John's Pass headed into St. Augustine. Yeah, 2-lane bridge. Dang, it's kind of a little scary in the fog. Yeah, this is normal stuff in Florida land, but usually it's bright and sunshiny, so in the rainy fog, this is a little weird. Neither snow nor sleet nor hail or rain or a bunch of traffic is going to stay us from visiting Dieselogic. Warning, bump in the road. Let's see what kind of bump this is. Oh, dang, that is a bump. Look at that. Little steel plate in the middle of the bridge. Woo. Man, this rain is killer today.
Take exit 60.
I guess my postal decree is, well, it's becoming factual, because neither rain nor sleet nor snow.
In 800 feet, keep right at the fork.
Seriously, you know it's coming down when the flat ground is flooded. Pulling in, we are here. I'm not gonna hit the sign. I'm just gonna pull up to it. We have a reserved visitors section, because there's no other parking spaces in this lot. It's a pretty full lot. So I stole the reserved visitors section. I hope this is reserved for me. Is it
Cheers.
reserved for you?
I hope so.
We're reserved.
I don't want to get towed.
We're not getting towed. If you just turn your steering wheel all the way to one side, they can't tow you. Myth. We're about to walk in, and first impression is not what you'd think from a diesel parts supplier. They have got one heck of a campus going on here. It's all gated in, everything's landscaped. Nice old growth Florida stuff here. I can really appreciate what's going on the outside. Really eager to learn about what's going on the inside. Look, the building comes with a built-in waterfall. Check that out. A lot of rain today. Let's head on inside, go check this joint out. Breaking the law. Popcorn?
Yeah, our beloved
It's delicious.
popcorn machine.
You can always tell when there's a movie buff nearby.
That's right.
Hello, everybody. Good day to you. We are here, the long-awaited moment. I am here with Omar at Dieselogic in Jacksonville, Florida. Omar, thanks for having us here. I really appreciate the opportunity,
You're welcome.
and it's a pleasure to meet you today, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is this was a scope shot taken before of the current, and I'll just see how that's the cycle, the other shots, because it's idling at whatever 800 RPM, and then we'll open them up and you see 3 shots: your pilot, your pre, and your main.
Okay, so what you're measuring with this scope is actual injection pulses
Yes.
from one of the selected injectors in the truck.
Correct.
What we're looking at here is an oscilloscope connected to a fuel injector on this Duramax V8. Omar is using his personal vehicle as a test bed for equipment.
See this little switch right here?
Yep. Okay, I see it, yep.
That's you know the dump valve that's on the rail.
Mm-hmm.
That's spliced into it, so I can actually cut it off in an emergency situation. We hooked that up just for emergency for a new style pump.
Okay, so if something catastrophically fails and she starts running away, you're like, nope, we're done here.
Yeah.
Let's not burn the building down.
Exactly.
I understand.
Haven't had to use it yet. So.
we first got it crunk up in July.
Oh wow, yeah, that's
So you're spot on. That's
Wait, how long is this? The truck's been running since July?
yeah.
Like just sitting here the whole time running since July? I'm like, wait a minute, hang on. No. So what he's saying is the system's been operating since July, and you're continuing to test through your prototypes of your pump and the other goodies you got going on here.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we have a 5th wheel, and so to make sure that we pull my 18,000 pound camper,
Gotcha.
so it's, you know, we got to make sure that we're putting it under a load that we just got in.
Okay.
And that's an engine stand that we just adapted this LML stand or brace for. because this is going to be our model that we're actually fitting a different style pump into
Gotcha.
it.
And all this is just for your own R&D. None of this is things that you're servicing for customers or anything like that. This is all just for in-house testing.
Yep. That's why I have all my toys in here too.
Got it.
1952 Morris Minor.
I've never seen one. At first glance, I thought it was a Volkswagen.
That's what.
No offense. Yeah, no offense to it. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But the corner of my eye, my side eye, said that was a Beetle. I mean, it's got the Beetle features too. It's got the surfboards up top. It's got the round dome.
Well, when
very cool little car.
When the Beetle came out, England countered back with the 1952 Morris Minor.
I see. Okay.
So it's a little bit similar. What we're doing here is we're producing our own video so that educational video on operating this particular machine.
I see. Well, hey, listen, real quick, full disclosure, I do intend to steal all your technology because I need some of these lights in my shop. I totally need these lights in the shop, so I'm going right after these things.
No problem. So you can see that this is the test bench that was developed back in the 70s and 80s from a company called Backrack. They don't even make them anymore. And we've made the retrofit kit to function for all the electronic injectors, specifically EUI electronic unit injectors that operate with a cam, and it's typically on Class 8 trucks.
Okay. So these are going to be your over-the-road trucks, the 18-wheelers,
Yep.
big Cummins engines.
Look, there's a cam right here operating.
Fantastic. So you're simulating the camshaft on your engine running, which is running, is this a Huey injector?
No, this is an EUI injector.
Okay.
Cam operated with a solenoid.
So it's getting its high pressure from the plunger in the injector housing using the lobe on the camshaft.
That is correct. We're supplying it with 90 psi. And then that fuel pressure comes in through the injector. And this is the return. You can actually put your finger here and feel the pulsations of
Oh, yeah.
the spillage. When the solenoid opens and spills, that's what we're feeling.
I see it.
The flywheel for the extra inertia. We developed our own cam with actually the company who develops and manufactures the cams for Harley Davidson.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then all the bracketry we had to actually create ourselves. We included a larger motor.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So this was originally kind of I'll call it a baseline testing bench, and then you've added different features to it to hone it into what you were looking for out of the unit.
It was manufactured for mechanical injection, mechanical EUIs. We've made it work for electronic. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Mechanical, which is MUI, mechanical unit injectors, versus EUI, electronic unit injectors. Look here, this is a model of what the LML looks like, just the fuel system itself.
We've got our two rails, one for each bank. Outputs for the lines running to the injectors, and we've got our high pressure injection pump.
That's right. And so you can see that the CP4 pump basically fits right there, and we've replaced it with this pump as a first version. So that's what we have running in the LML truck outside for what, 7 months now, right?
Yep.
7 months. Over here, this is just a display of our fiber optic technology and how it works. You basically, the injector fits in just like that, injects, and then the feedback with the light goes to your module and then through your system.
So you've got a control device that operates the fiber optic unit.
Yep.
And what you're going to do is supply high pressure fuel to these injectors, and you can monitor the output spray, the pattern rather, using the input output from your fiber optics.
That is correct.
So you're visually looking at the injection cycle.
That's exactly
That's
right.
fantastic.
Yeah. This shows you a little bit of the generations from when we started this developing our control systems. This was released in 2002. This one was released in the Logic Box 2 was released in 2004, And then we moved on to Logic Box 3, which has the National Instruments product, and LabVIEW, which we'll show you on the Neo in a little bit later.
And you created those? Those are your brainchild? These testing controls?
We created these, and we still keep this set up here because if we have an issue with one of our customers around the world, they'll ship us their box. We test it, prototype it here. For instance, like this is the machine simulating with their motor running the injector. This is the pickup. And if you hit the green here, see it's at an idle.
And so it's pulsing the solenoid in this injector right now?
That is correct.
And you can change that with your control. You can turn up the speed and
Sure. If I want to, I'll go to, let's say, test phase 3. This is very antique, by the way. And I will change the speed to the next test phase, which is over here. What is that? 937.
how about that? And each one of those is going to be 900. What do we get? 900 RPM. Is that what I'm seeing here on that machine?
We're at 1600.
1600 RPM. So this thing is simulating 1600 injection cycles per minute. As well, no, not really, because there's 8 of them. So we're 200 per minute. We're running 200 injection cycles per minute on that.
That's correct.
Yes, my math skills are still there. All right.
With another version of our fiber optic that will actually sense air in your system.
Oh, so it's got an optical meter that is it watch the fuel as it flows to the line? Is that what that's how it's working?
Looking for the bubbles.
How about that?
And I happen to have an air dog as a fuel pump running through this cycle.
These are good pumps.
Yeah. So we demag all of the electronic injectors, because you must ask, why would you want to demagnify your injector? Well, the injector has a electromagnet on it, and it's making all of the metal in the injector, the body, magnified. So when you go to clean it, if there's any microscopic metal dust, it'll stick to the internal parts of that injector, and then you rebuild it and you have metal slurry in the injector. So you have to demagnify to really clean the injector.
So if you didn't do that, you run the risk of potentially selling a unit that has metal particles stuck to the inside, and then when you get fuel flowing through that, it can actually damage the injector.
Absolutely.
Got it. So you've got to have it cleaned and demagnetized, no debris.
Yes.
Or you run the risk of immediate failure, pretty much.
Correct.
I see.
And then you think of, aqueous cleaners like water, right? Well, water has calcium in it. We only use reverse osmosis water in order to, make sure that you're not cleaning the water and having calcium build up on the injector as well when you clean it.
So it's so critical. You can't even have dissolved minerals in your cleaning material, which is your water.
Yes.
Wow.
The chemistry I'll have to keep private because it's taken us years to figure out what kind of chemistry to use and the ratios and what have you. And then the rinsing processes that we do, as you can see, all the injectors get rinsed twice in these in the water. And it also has chemistry in there to pull everything off of those injectors. Then you got what we call the pizza oven, and that dries all the product that comes out. And as soon as it comes out, we spray it with calibration fluid so it prevents it from oxidizing immediately. That area right there that's fenced off is all of we call it equipment staging. That's cores. So product comes in from the garage, the loading bay, and it gets separated. We separate all the core, and then the raw materials and the finished good go straight down to our parts department. You don't want to mix core and finished goods in the same place.
Got it. So you've got this building segregated enough where you can't get a contamination of a core that ends up over there in the new production or the sales floor rather. So it's kind of like a restaurant where you don't stack your chicken above your salad.
That's exactly right.
Got it.
We don't want to mix those things.
Entering airlock.
The various injectors that that we produce here.
Yeah, the LB7s.
Yeah. Here is the beloved Neo with the fiber optic technology and the Accelerail.
Oh, that's the latest and greatest version of your optical sensing unit, combined with you said you've got some other sensors on there for flow and fuel volume.
That is correct.
Okay.
This one's a special Neo because we've developed this for the piezo crystal injectors, which is the Scorpions that you see here.
Is this something you're gonna find these in like the L5P Duramax?
Actually, you would find these in the Ford
6.7.
6.7.
Okay,
Yeah.
6.7.
Everything from 2010, 11 up.
Okay.
11, yeah.
11 to current 6.7 Fords. See, we've got our intake. That's our fuel line coming in. There's our return port. And of course the electronic connection so the ECM can fire the unit.
So over here, more production. There it is. Here's the LB7 area. And if you walk over here to the machine, you can see this LB7, and you see the white is a representation of the current, and the red is a representation of the injection pulse itself. That's the fiber optic.
Got it. So this is basically what the ECM is going to be commanding for the injector to do, and then you're measuring how much current it's going to take to perform that injection command.
Correct. You see the red, how it vibrates and deviates?
Yep.
That's actual cycle-to-cycle deviation of each injection. So we can measure that deviation, measure the amount of time that it started and ended that injection. So this is an automatic machine, so what it's doing is it's cycling and recording each of these test phases.
It's incredibly precise.
See, it'll change right now to another shot. See, that's a pre.
I just thought it, yeah.
That's a pre-injection. Without that.
So this Accelerail, that's simulating the individual fuel rails, and that's simulating your fuel supply that's already been pressurized by your CP3 or your CP4.
That's correct.
So that's everything else on the truck, and you're just trying to provide that injector with everything it needs so you can measure that thing properly.
That's correct.
Okay.
You can see how tiny this pre-injection is.
Yeah, that's a pre-injection. That's one of up to 7 injection pulses that we're gonna see out of a typical modern injector.
Yes. However, the LB7 only had 2.
Only had 2?
Because it was the first version.
You know, I learned it backwards. I learned common rail and then went backwards through the technology afterwards.
I understand. What's important to know is no matter what kind of injector, it's always important to measure the 2 injections that are as close together as possible. So the pre and the main is typically the ones that are close together, because anything else that's further away will obviously operate. It's all about it opening and closing that nozzle valve fast enough and measuring that with the fiber optic. So if we can do it on its closest point, the pre and the main, everything else will work great.
And that's where we get our fuel efficiency. That's where we get our low noise.
The rate shaping of the combustion
And
burn.
of course, all right. So the pre-injection is going to create the pattern for the burn, and then the rest of the injections is going to give you your power, and then we follow up with post-injection, which is how we manage emissions.
Yep, like
All right.
kind of like a rinse cycle, and lowering that temperature for that lower NOx emissions. Get tests, see, generates a barcode, and if it's for that injector, a trim code, and that's what we stick on the box.
And the trim code is what I would refer as like an IQA, injection quantity adjustment.
Exactly.
And that's basically telling our ECM the flow characteristics of that individual injector, correct?
That is correct.
Very good.
To bring it back to nominal.
I see. That way they're all roughly balanced, and that's how we, again, that's how we tell the ECM this is what they're supposed to do and how they do it and what we've measured them to do. So it knows how to adjust its injector pulse. That way we don't have idle variations and power output variations.
That's correct.
I see.
Yep. Your laser engraving gets done right there.
Right over there, that machine.
Yep. Yep. So you're seeing Miss Laser Engraver right there, and she's also the shim master.
Shim master.
Because these trays these ice cube trays are in 1 micron increments. So when they're building their injector, they choose what shim they're going to use by means of these trays and their measurements.
So what are these shims adjusting for? Is this setting the depth of the nozzle?
No, this particular shim is the stroke of the armature. So the little the ball and valve, in order to allow the differential pressure work in the common rail to allow the nozzle to open.
Okay, so you're shimming the way it flows with an internal adjustment,
That's
not
correct.
Nothing external. Oh, I understand.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. What do you think about all this, darling?
I was noticing those. I have the same tea steepers.
Yes, it's amazing how much kitchen utensils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. These are just little parts, as you can see.
Oh wow. What are those components for? What are those things for?
Those are inside of an armature, inside of a LB7 or 5.9 injector.
Okay. Back through the airlock. That's a clean room in there. No dust and debris.
To you earlier about we blow every single nozzle before we actually assemble it in the assembly room.
Yep.
To verify that the nozzle is quantified within spec, the flow. So you can see there's the plumes I was talking about. And so you can adjust the differential pressure and open up more cavitation or less cavitation. You see that?
You can visually see your spray pattern on every unit that goes out of the door.
That's right.
That way you know that was not clogged or the orifice isn't deformed. You can watch it, verify it, and go, hey, this one passes, we're good, let's ship it.
Plume uniformity. And then you've got the flow right here. That's
Flow is actually going through this unit.
exactly. This was created in
And you created this entire machine,
not this machine. This machine is was designed by Backrack for pressure time pumps, PT pumps or Cummins. We just adapted this unit right here that we invented in order to flow the nozzles like the same way that the pumps flow, and we use the meter to flow to measure the flow of the nozzle.
I understand, okay. I think that's my favorite part because we get to see what it does. Yeah.
There you go.
I see
You
it.
got your nozzle. So you're getting air in the system, and you bleed the system out by opening the valve and letting the air bypass.
Very cool. Oh, look at here. All the failures. No good, no good. No, 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 no. These are all the rejects.
Yep.
Stuff that's been tested on the benches that do not meet testing standards and they do not go out for production. Look at that.
Oh, you noticed. But Goody, well, I don't know about Goody. From, what was it, 1994
Yeah.
through 2002. This was before the LB7. This was the Chevy 6.5. First fly-by-wire.
I see it now. I see it right there.
First fly-by-wire. Yeah, exactly.
No mechanical link. That's all mechanical.
This is what we call mechatronics. We don't particularly like these pumps, but we still build them.
Well, they still exist, so if there's a market for it, someone could fill it.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
This is another, okay, you've seen how we developed the back rack machine and we retrofitted it?
Yes.
However, the back rack machine was designed for mechanical injectors in its day, 80s, 70s, and 80s, and those had limitations. They didn't have as much peak pressure. EUI, these injectors can create much more pressure, so we have to lower the capacity of that injector in order to run it on that machine because of its clamping force, for instance. So we created a cam box with a much stronger clamping force. We can actually hit up to 8,000 pounds of force in one injection in this contraption. And we developed the cam box in order to fit on any type of bench so that other fuel shops could mount it on their existing test bench. You can see the cam. Oh yeah, let me put the light
That's your controller. You developed that controller yourself as well, didn't you?
Well, no, this is National Instruments, all hardware.
Oh, okay.
We developed the software. We designed it, how it worked, and what components we would use to operate. This was primarily for the common rail because it's so high technology, aerospace level. But then we started using it for everything because it was just so much more precise and better, like our camera. They have to be triple checked before they go out the door. So this is how we run them.
So you know it's risky business selling the CP4s, but you...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why we're coming up with something else.
Are you in agreement with, a lot of us feel that the CP4 is actually a really good pump, but the understanding is they were designed for European blended diesel.
I would disagree.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
And it's true that the lubricity of the U.S. fuel is not as good as the European. However, they still have catastrophic failures in Europe as well.
Okay.
Even on smaller vehicles like the VW, 4 cylinders, what have you, because we deal with business there all the time. In my opinion, the CP4 injection pump was a way that the factory it was designed to save costs, and they implemented an old method of old injection pump technology, like the P pumps.
Yeah.
Cummins would use for like an old 95, I believe, or earlier, or was it? Yeah, 95, 96, the old P pumps. They had a cam and roller assembly inside of them that worked on engine oil. And they used the same method, a cam, lobe, and roller, but for diesel fuel. So you decide yourself, is that a good idea? That's like the same thing as a cam and a roller in an engine. Would you run that on diesel fuel?
No.
And run it on that high of pressure?
You're what you're asking for. It'll work, it'll lubricate it for a little while, but eventually it's going to wear down because the film strength isn't there on diesel fuel.
And then you say, hey, let's go ahead and add another lobe 180 degrees and double the duty cycle.
So you're asking for it. Yeah, this is why we run additives for lubricity. That's
it's
why.
Very, very important. Yes. So this is a CP3 getting tested.
Okay. And not that you're throwing pump.
Correct. But the only difference is it's not built for more than 1,600 bar.
Yeah. What is that roughly? 20,000 psi?
Yeah, about 20,000, a little over 20,000 psi. And then they had a version that went up to 1,800 bar that Dodge ended up using after the catastrophe of trying to use the CP4 in 2019 and 20. They went back to the CP3 with the 1,800 bar, which limits their capacity and performance because of emissions.
Lower pressures and that's always emissions. We always circle right back to emissions.
That is correct.
And under the surface, there's even more. Look at all that. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I see fuel. I see fuel lines.
This is that flow meter we spoke about.
That's a flow meter?
Yep.
Okay. We've got, that's a sensor of some sort. Is that a...
That's a temperature sensor.
Probe?
Yeah. These are valves to deviate the fuel from the return and the discharge of the nozzle and flow it through this flow meter, which is a little over $8,000 just for that little box.
Wow, just for that little thing right there?
Yep. And then you've got pumps and more pumps and coolers, flat plate cooler, oil cooler back there to keep it cool. You have a heater here to heat the fuel so it maintains the proper temperature of the fuel so that we're consistent with the testing.
Because different temperatures will give you different densities, and different densities will throw off your measurements.
The viscosity goes.
Got it.
Yeah. So when you get in the morning, the fuel's cold. It heats up the fuel at the rated temperature. Then we run, and as it runs, we need a chiller to offset the heat exchange.
I'm seeing a lot of LB7 injectors around here.
Yeah, we do a
those
lot
things
of
are still
LB7s.
cooking, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the telltale on the LB7 is that little offshoot on the side where the line comes in to connect to the injector body.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. This is still nostalgic. This test bench is the first test bench that my father purchased brand new in 1974 when he moved to Jacksonville.
Wow.
So, yeah, and now we use it as a placeholder for R&D pumps and our BP44 and things of that nature.
That pump over there, that's the size of a miniature engine.
This is a P pump.
That's a P pump for a Cummins, right?
Which has a cam lobe and roller. Which I'll ask Andre to bring me one so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. Big camshaft and 6 rollers.
Wow. And then one line output for each individual injection, and it's timed mechanically, isn't it?
That is
so
correct.
There's no electronics on the injectors for this style of pump from
none whatsoever.
In the 90s.
This is our RQV-K governor. Actually, I went to school for this governor and this pump at Bosch. I became a master tech through Bosch. These individual plungers get timed individually in order to make sure that it's every 60 degrees. You have a little shim that you change to lift it or lower it mechanically to make sure that you balance all of them within a certain amount of tolerance and degrees.
Ooh, you guys selling turbochargers too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? I want one.
We sell a ton of them. Our finished goods and our raw materials.
So everything here is on the outgoing side. It's already been through remanufacturing, testing, inspection, etc. And it's ready for an order to come in, and then this is where you process?
That's right. They get pulled and they get sorted into whatever delivery method is going to be shipped. UPS, Federal Express, USPS, and then it gets shipped over to the loading dock at the end of the day.
All right. You know, you were right when we walked in. It wasn't what you'd expect to see.
Yeah.
At all. And you'd never notice it from the street. You know, it looks like a small college campus from the road view. Yeah.
And obviously, you know, like we said, this is the first time we've ever allowed anybody to come in with a camera and even without a camera, like just to show the process.
Well, hey, I brought 100,000 people with me, so.
Yeah. You see that right there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that alone is a chiller just to keep the temperature in our cooling lines for all the machines that we run.
Oh, so you're putting heat into your fluid just through pressurization.
Yes.
And you've got to cool that back off. That way you continue to use that same fluid, so you're not constantly running through.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's got its coolant and water mixture.
It's things folks would never think about to maintain consistency for your testing median.
Exactly. Yeah. Certain machines also take 400 volts, so we have transformers to actually up them.
You see it up there?
Yeah, up the voltage.
Loud noises.
And then we'll come back through here.
Yo, Omar, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For inviting us out here today. It was a very pleasurable experience. I learned a lot.
Thank you.
And I'm sure I'll see you again.
Yes, sir.
Love to talk to you soon.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
take care.
Bye-bye.
Yep. So not only do we have fuel injectors, we have peacocks too. It's a Florida thing. And mein gato. I told you guys this place had a nice campus. Is that a turkey?
Yeah, there's a turkey.
That one's a turkey? I'm not going too close. Peacocks would mess you up. They'll fight you like an ostrich. Side eye, side eye. All right, let's climb on in this unit. We have to make the dangerous trek home. Sun's coming out though. Starting the engine. Ding 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 a ling ding a ling a ling a ling. ABS warning. Alrighty folks, we're headed home from Jacksonville / St. Augustine. This is I-95 south, and this Hyundai doesn't know where they're going. Yeah, stay in your lane there, James Bond. Yeah, but we're headed home. It's about a 4.5 hour drive. It's getting a little late in the afternoon, so it'll be evening time once we get there.
We should go to a Buc-ee's.
Do we have time to go to Buc-ee's?
I don't know. I would love to check out Buc-ee's.
All right, we'll go to Buc-ee's. I bet they have food. We're gonna go to Buc-ee's now. Never been to one.
We gotta get over.
I know. I didn't know they had them in Florida. I'm gonna hang up now so I can maneuver. Haha, made the exit. Something stinks.
Yeah, it smells like fish.
Or maybe the pond has fish in it. Where's the Buc-ee's?
Take a left.
Left?
No, right.
Oh my God, good thing the middle lane also goes right. I should have known. I should have known with your directions there, woman.
Well, there's the sign right there. I was looking over there, but
You can't. Hello, Tesla. That Tesla does not have fuel injectors. Only the charging stations that charge the Tesla has the fuel injectors. And what kind of gas station is this? It's the size of a Walmart.
Look, there's a Costco, there's a Buc-ee's. This place is
Yeah,
like
this
a
is.
Disney World.
Look, no trucks. I have a truck. I'm going in. Ring. Yeah, that's insane. This is the size of a Walmart. It's gonna take us all day to come in here. We can't go in here. We have to go home. Tourist trap.
Yeah,
Gas
we're
station.
Stuck in here.
Yeah, we're fine. Let's go shopping at Buc-ee's.
I'm gonna get a hat.
Is it Buc-ee? But they don't have Rain Man Race Repairs hats here. Or wife unit hats. Do we have wife unit hats?
But they have beaver hats.
Do we have wife unit hats?
We do have wife unit. No.
No, we don't. Never mind, we don't have wife unit hats. Should we get wife unit hats?
We should.
I think we should. What do you guys think? Should we get wife unit hats in the future? Just look at that face.
Ray's Auto Clinic. Oh, they just hung up on me.
What? That's so rude. You're gonna call me and hang up. That's worse than the people that call you and say, hi, we're recording this conversation. I mean, how would you feel if I called you and was like, yo, I'm recording this conversation for my quality assurances? No, hang up on those people. They don't get to call you without consent and record you. Nonsense.
Are you done with this coffee?
Yes. Proper. This is no gas station. It's a space station. What is this? It smells good in here.
Oh, it smells so good. There's fudge and there's glazed almonds.
Yummy. Yeah, we got Buc-ee's burritos. Big burritos. Delicious.
Oh, and don't forget this.
And the ghost pepper jerky. That's gonna be fun. No, seriously, Lauren, I don't know what just happened in there. This place is like a better version of Walmart, and people that work there are cool. They were nice. Like I can't believe what just happened. I want to go back in there. I want to go back in.
I would like to spend like a half an hour in there.
I could spend a long time in there. They should have like full-on shopping carts, not just gravity, not just the boxes. Hey, that prank caller is calling you again.
Let's see.
See who it is.
Ray's Auto Clinic. Hello. Ray's Auto Clinic.
Hello. I heard you say hello.
Boop. Yeah, they hung up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna start directions to the house.
Texas steak and cheese burrito. This is fantastic. Yummy.